YouTube isn't fair, and let me tell you about my personal struggles, ups and downs over the last year and how I deal with them. So sit back, enjoy the gameplay, or just look away and listen, I don't mind. What is often forgotten about people who become quote-unquote YouTubers is that 99% of the time before that, they were just regular people living regular lives. I was a college graduate, pursuing a normal life, and one day, almost a year ago, I uploaded a video on Fall Guys. Literally within 1 month later, I'm a YouTube partner posting a brand new video every day. I was editing everything myself, making everything myself, and life really turned on a dime for me. Here is the scary part and where the ignorance comes into play. When you're growing at a rapid pace, much like I was in late September and October of last year, you really don't think it's going to slow down. I feel as if from an outsider's perspective, you would look at me and say, well, why wouldn't you think it's going to slow down? I'm telling you, you just don't. You're basically in an endless brain loop of post video, get subscribers, repeat. I mean, sometimes I was on autopilot. It felt like I wasn't even trying. If you look at my subscriber count right now, well, back in October of 2022, I would tell myself, oh yeah, I'm hitting 50K before 2023. Yeah, that didn't happen. The very scary nature of supply and demand smacked me in the face about as hard as a brick wall. Obviously, as most of you know, Fall Guys' interest is about as roller coaster as it gets. Once 2023 began, instead of hitting what I thought would be over 50K subscribers and a never-ending path to success, I got the complete opposite, and it really started to take a toll on my mental well-being. Let's talk about that. Once SS3 got stale after about a month and a half and more people stopped caring due to the introduction of vaulted rounds, I was kind of met at a crossroads. It was weird. I was doing the same amount of work, arguably more in some instances, with less of a reward to it. How was I to react to that? There's no playbook to the mental health side of YouTube. To put an analogy to it, I mean, imagine having to eat 3 meals a day to feel satisfied, but suddenly the food you eat is less nutritious, and you have to put in twice the amount of eating to even feel satisfied anymore. YouTube didn't care if I spent 4 hours on a video in October to get 50K views versus 4 hours on a video in March for 8,000 views. The algorithm doesn't care who you are or how you feel. People who don't watch you don't care. It's a very lonely occupation if you allow it to be. So how did I deal with it? I really don't think I did, actually. I worried a lot, stressed a lot. I mean, a mere 4 to 5 months ago, I was planning a lifestyle of a stay-at-home YouTuber, bills being easily paid, not having a monetary concern in the world. I mean, when it's going so well, I mean, I kind of put all my eggs in one basket, and it's not like I had anyone close to me who was doing what I was doing to put me in check. You know, my rent and my bills stayed relatively the same price, but I was suddenly making 1/5 of what I was earning 5 months ago. I mean, imagine you're an engineer, right? Let's say you make $100,000 a year, and then the next year you start to make $20,000. Pretty scary stuff, right? Not that I was making 100K off YouTube, I wish. I mean, I couldn't force people to care about Fall Guys. I couldn't force people to want to play SS3. You just end up feeling hopeless a bit, trying to gather up, you know, what is the next idea that could, gosh, maybe even get me 10,000 views or even 15,000 if I were lucky, but that idea never came. February, March, and April of 2023 of my YouTube career were 3 months of continuous stress, anxiety, distrust with myself, disappointment, and just a sense of letting myself down, and at the time my girlfriend down as well. I was the one who told her, like, yeah, I'll cover everything, I got you, you know, YouTube's going great. So to then struggle with that makes you really question, like, who am I as a man? Who am I that I'm maybe struggling to provide more than I want to admit or think of? You really get in your head with this stuff, and it's, you know, it's definitely not healthy. But the thing is, though, you can't and don't show any of that on camera. You need to put on a smile for the videos, especially. I mean, sometimes during older streams, I would open up about it, but never to the extent of what I was truly feeling. You don't want to expose viewers to that, especially when, you know, a handful of them are kids. So every time I would post a video for months, the majority of the YouTube analytics would say that, you know, this video is, quote, doing worse than the last one. For anyone who has made consistent YouTube content, the YouTube analytics screens are very good at reminding you how terribly your videos are performing compared to last week, last month, etc. For the first time in my adult life, there were numerous months where I was losing money on bills because I was so naive about YouTube income and wasn't really aware of the massive inconsistencies. I mean, I only started playing Fall Guys a few weeks after it went free to play. I certainly couldn't have predicted the disinterest that would come. That brings us to early May. That brings us to creative mode. When SS4 dropped, I think we were all a tad underwhelmed with the audience size. At least I thought it'd be a little bit larger. But hey, I saw an opportunity and took it. For the first couple months of creative, I posted every day. It was very well worth it. The numbers were up. Videos actually got more views than the amount of subs I had at the time. I mean, my highest viewed video from June of SS4 is actually slowly approaching 100k views, which is incredible to me. I am very proud of myself for pushing myself during that high, as I would call it, as that's kind of what you need to do on YouTube to be successful. As much as it may seem to a viewer that it's easy to do when the numbers are decent, it's actually not, and in some chances it could be, even harder. And this video isn't me looking for sympathy, more so just, wanting to give an insight to the human behind the camera itself. Being your own boss, as silly as it sounds, is hard if you're like me. My whole life, I'm a procrastinator, quote, I'll do it tomorrow type of guy. For example, when I was in middle school, I'd be the kid, outside of my locker before the first class starts, filling in the last answers to my math homework. One of the things I'm proudest of myself, though, is that I've completely obliterated procrastination when it comes to YouTube as an outlet. It really stems from not wanting to let people down, not wanting to let you guys listening to this down, not wanting to let the people donating on my stream down, not wanting to let the people just tuning into my stream or anyone watching my content down. I'm not trying to be cringe, but those of you sitting in front of your TV, your phone, your tablet, whatever right now, I may not know what you look like, I may not know your name, but you're the reason that I keep doing what I'm doing and just put my head down and get through it. And this brings us to the current day. SS4 is gone, right? I mean, we're not really in a season anymore. Numbers for Fall Guys interest are on the decline again, and then I ask myself, how do I react to this? How do I, take myself and where do I go from here? It's hard, right? Like I said earlier, you can't force people to be interested in Fall Guys. I mean, sure, if there's an update soon for something like, I don't know, Fall Guys Mobile or ranked mode, that would be huge, but I would be doing a disservice to my own mental health, kind of counting on that 100% at all. However, if Fall Guys dips how it is once again, like it was during the more, boring parts of SS3, I'm glad I at least know what to expect in a sense. It's really hard still, and will never be easy making videos knowing that the audience just isn't there enough for it to pop off. And that's something I've come to grips with. Funny enough too, as I've gotten better at video editing, and I think just videos in general, once again, the audience getting smaller doesn't care about that, right? It isn't just as easy as, make better videos, get more views, because once again, the looming, thundercloud of supply and demand is always above your head. Like I said, doing these videos comes to me still because I know thousands of people are still going to be tuning in. I know they're not going to watch every video start to finish. I mean, some of you are that crazy and you know who you are, but that's a blessing that I know tons of creators would want to have, and I constantly try to remind myself of that. Comparison is the thief of joy, and I really try to just stay grounded by thinking that the position I'm in is a blessed position, and I say that a lot on stream. The support from you guys watching my streams as well keeps me going. I mean, the sense of community I have with all of you is something I never envisioned could be as nice as it is. I mean, come on, you guys really like me. I'm kidding, you know what I mean. Obviously, there's a line to draw with platonic internet viewer creator relationships, and I think we've drawn that pretty nicely. Obviously, I don't talk to anyone off stream really much like that, but when I'm in stream and we're vibing and we're having good talks, I mean, it's really is a good community, minus the kids that come in and say, do you like pizza? I'm like, yeah, I like pizza, but then we just continue on, obviously. I'm having a really big Q&A video come out soon on my 1-year anniversary on August 30th, which will delve into a lot more questions about this stuff, but I wanted to answer this question because I was just in the mood to do a little deep talk. I was always someone growing up, and I even am someone right now who keeps their feelings bottled up, and I often, to my own fault, refuse to talk about them with people close to me as much as I should. So yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. I am stressed about the future of YouTube. I am stressed about the future of Fall Guys. I understand that it won't get as bad as Season 3 was, in terms of lack of interest, but it's obviously on the decline, and it does worry me. It all goes back to putting in the same hours of work for less of a reward. And I know I don't have to say this, but if you think this video is me saying I'm not satisfied with my audience, please, you know that's not true. I just feel like I have to say that because I know there's going to be 3 or 4 people that think I'm just complaining, but that obviously isn't what this video is. So yeah, day in and day out, I will continue to put on a good face for the camera, and that's not implying that I'm super depressed or anything. I'm not. It's just the uncertainty, right? But yeah, I hope this kind of gave you guys an insight on just the human behind the screen in terms of a Fall Guys YouTuber, because I know a lot of us are kind of goofy and weird, but hey, I mean, I'm kind of a serious person in my normal life. I'm probably much more serious more often than you guys would think. So yeah, if you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. I'm not making this video for it to pop off or do well. I honestly don't think it's going to do well at all comparatively, simply because I don't think this video appeals to maybe the younger kids that watch me, but that's okay. I enjoy giving the transparency, right? Before I keep going in circles, I'm going to shut myself up and just say thank you for listening. Let me know if you want to hear more stuff like this in the future. And yeah, I enjoyed making this video, and I will hit you with a just more relaxed bye-bye.